nobody warned you about the moment when your kids stop asking for help and start making decisions on their own. Let's talk about it right after this.
It's the Naybors podcast with Reese and Mike. They discussing different issues that affect our streets and life. Said it's the Naybors. We the Naybors. Yeah.
Yep. What's going on, y'all? How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all well.
Yeah.
But I do have a question. Do you remember the first time you realized your kid didn't need you the same way anymore? So, Mike, do you remember? Do you remember the time?
You know what's somewhat a tool, when they with my daughter, she have a tendency, when she needs something, that word comes out.
What word? Which word?
Father. Any other time it's dad, but when it comes father, that means yeah, all right, what do you want? That's it. And
It sounds like my daughter. That's funny. Yo, that's funny.
Oh, your daughter does that too?
She does it too.
I'll be damn.
That is funny. That's hilarious.
And I'm like, okay, what do you want?
Right. But see, my daughter won't call me with that. She'll text me with it first.
My daughter does both.
Yeah, she'll text me father.
Right.
I'm like, you just need to call me. Don't text me. Just call me. Just lay it on me. Well, I'm like, come on, I don't need that song and dance. Just say it.
Just say it. You ain't got no problem.
Right. So come on, like, just say what you got to say. Get it over with. Rip the Band-Aid off. I'm not a little kid. You get what I mean? But what it is that you don't want to hear all the other stuff that got to go with it, though. That's what the problem is.
I'm starting to learn that. But, yeah, it's like, okay, all right. Father, yeah, what do you want? Plain and simple, what do you want?
Yeah.
Like you say, ain't no sense of sugarcoating, giving a song and dance. Just throw it on the floor. Just
right.
throw it out there. What do you want?
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense. Now, y'all have heard my story before. My daughter did some crazy things, early on in her college years with some guys and cars and whatever it is. But that's when I really realized that the reality is that she was getting older and she was making decisions, and she didn't necessarily need and or always wanted my input.
Right.
And that was a really, really big eye-opener for me personally, because I didn't realize, in all honesty, I didn't realize how much of a control freak I was.
I mean, I wouldn't say you're a control freak. It's like you want to make sure you protecting your child.
Right.
And you her security blanket.
Yeah.
It's not like you being overprotective. You just being like, all right, just say little overcautious. Just do that. We'll use that overcautious. And sometimes we run with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we sit up there and they tell us what this, that is, and we get to analyzing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I think I don't think that be the way. Well, I think sometimes they don't want to hear that.
Right.
They just want to hear yes or no.
Right.
No, we got to do a book report. We got to tell them a book report.
Right,
we got to tell them why, and,
right.
and this is the reason why you shouldn't. This is the reason why you should, and this
right.
Should and shouldn't. And they don't want to hear that.
Nah. Especially when it comes to this whole relationship thing.
Right. Exactly.
And even with that, gosh. So the other night, my daughter she had called because she had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the snow and weather or whatever, she hasn't been driving her car. So she's been doing a lot of Uber or riding public transportation.
Ooh, man.
And so with that, the other night, she had called and she was waiting on public transportation. No, I'm sorry, she was waiting for her Uber.
Mm-hmm.
But she was waiting outside. of her job.
Okay.
Mind you, it's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, but she's on the phone with us. And so, well, she's on the phone, and then some guy was like, yo, sis, while we on the phone with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's giggling. Now, mind you, you sitting here talking to us about your problems or whatever it is. Like, you got stuff going on. This little young boy, whatever, like, yo. And you giggling was like, young lady, we're about to have a failure to communicate.
Right.
Because I understand you can't control the bull trying to holler at you or whatever it is, but you could control you whole giggling on the phone in my ear. You get what I mean? And and so we had I never really spoke to her about that, but that was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I was really ticked off with her.
Well, cool.
I was really ticked off.
She thought it was cute.
She did. She liked the attention, and I get it.
There it is.
But I was young at that time, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, depending on the vibe, like, I've seen people like, yo, who you on the phone with? Get off the phone. Like, you get what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm glad he didn't go that route.
Right.
That would have been a whole nother situation.
Right.
Because then it would have been like, I know it's 11 o'clock, but don't make me have to come out the car. Like,
right.
Let me be right there.
But,
but that's the way. But because she was calling about a problem, that was probably reason why I was on edge.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? And so, but in that moment, I had to realize, like, all right, yeah, it's a problem, but it's not a problem where she's really looking for us to really solve it as much as she's just talking about it.
Right.
Because if it was serious, would she have still entertained that moment with that guy?
She wouldn't.
And she didn't say anything. It's not like she had a conversation with him, and
right.
he didn't do anything else. She just giggled.
Right.
But it's like, yo, that wasn't cute though. Not on the phone with your parents.
Right. Well, yeah.
I was ready to drop kick her, dude. I'm gonna be honest, dude. I was heated.
Man, remember we talk about that cutting that umbilical cord? Yeah.
Dude, I was heated, and so I think that's I'm constantly reminded of, like, they're old enough to handle their own.
Right, but sometimes we think, we want them to have their independence, but sometimes we don't want them to have their independence. Because most likely, sometimes you think they growing up too fast, they moving too fast, and they got to slow down. Smell the air first.
Right.
Before run through it. Smell it first. Take your time. Footstep, pat, pit, pat. Because we've been there, done that.
Yeah.
But at times, times is different. But
they are. But some things don't change, though.
Some things don't change. Some things don't change. This is true. But,
but it's just that was just a moment, man. Like I said, I just had a whole situation with that.
Yeah, because it's different when when you got a daughter.
Yeah,
it's totally different.
Yeah, and you're right, because when so those of you who know or who don't know, I have two kids. I have a son and a daughter. My daughter's the oldest. My son is the baby. And so as they were growing up, I was talking to the wife about, how we're going to raise the kids or whatever it is. And I was like, yeah, my daughter, she can't start dating until she's 18, 19, 20 years old.
Right.
But my son, he can start dating at 14. She's like, are you serious?
Yep.
I was like, yeah. Did it happen that way? No. But that was my mindset. And unfortunately, can that look like being male chauvinistic and stuff like that? Yes, but I was also concerned about other things when it had come to my daughter that I didn't necessarily concern myself with my son, like teenage pregnancy, all that type of stuff. And I don't know why. I didn't have that same barrier for my son that like I did for my daughter.
And why is that?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know why.
Because it's like, once again, because it's your daughter, not your son.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be, I don't know if it's just that simple. It might be a little deeper than that. It might be a little deeper than that. But I know I definitely was not. Now, like I said, as they had gotten older. Now, mind you, I'm talking like while they were still. We had that conversation. Maybe like they might have been 7 and 5, 8 and 6. Like it was still early on in their life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, it was still early on.
Okay,
Like they had not even gotten to teenage years yet.
Oh, that's a totally different story. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's like, but as they had gotten older, yes, it changed.
For a change, gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
it changed. And partly, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think part of that as well is like you asked the question again, like you said, is it because my daughter versus my son? Yes, but I also think it's because unfortunately, my mom really pushed for my younger brother to be with me all the time.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Okay.
So if I walked out the door, he was walking out the door. It wasn't until I had gotten a girlfriend where it was like, well, you can't be with me, dude.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like you don't want to be the third wheel. Now, later on, I kind of found out he had a little crush on my girlfriend at that time. I didn't know that, but he did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I just recently found out.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah. So that's just kind of part of the challenge as well. Yeah. And so now, what do you do, right? And so again, these I think, like I said, these are the moments where I start to realize and acknowledge that, they're just asking for me to be an advisor, not so much to being a parent.
Yeah, and that's it. Be honestly, yeah. I mean, what can you do? I mean, we can't sit up, keep getting upset.
Right.
Upset. Oh, well, she need to listen. Oh, well, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just like we just got to sit back in the cut and take it.
Yeah.
As long as there ain't no serious situation.
Right.
That's a different story.
Right.
We got a posse up. That's a different story.
Right.
But there's something that's normal they got to go through. Yeah, you know, we got to be an advisor.
Right.
But as soon as we go, well, they don't want to hear that.
No, they
well,
don't.
I think, no, they don't want to hear that.
No. Mm-mm.
That's why sometimes I think with daughters, sometimes they're scared to come to us. And about certain situations, they go through, ask mom first. Try to get you to prove, you go, mom, this, their mom, so, well, see what your father said, something like that. But sometimes not always like that.
Well, I know my daughter, she does that most times.
Okay.
She does that most times.
Okay.
Now, if it's a situation where she's just like, I need to hurry up and get it done, then she'll come straight to me.
Oh, well, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's something like a real emergency, because if she has to ask her mom first, then she'll do the song and dance. So then I won't hear about it for days later.
Of course.
Whereas
right.
if it's a real emergency, that's where I'll get the father
right
vibe.
Right.
So like for an example, when she had her little fender bender, right? Well, she had more than one, but any of them that she had, she didn't call the wife at all. She called me directly.
Because you know what to do.
Right. She didn't no muss, no fuss, no playing games. She's like, no, Dad, like I'm done. Like it's a wrap.
Right.
And then I had to now talk to the wife or whatever. But in the midst of, in all honesty though, by the time I even talked to the wife about it, it was almost like I was almost at her or to her. You get what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was never like any hesitation.
Right.
So I think that's when those situations where it's like, hey, you know what? If she's in a problem, she's like, if she needs someone there right then, that's when she'll call me.
Right. Look, we are always gonna be AAA to them.
Right.
So.
Right. Whatever the situation might be.
Yeah.
But those are, like I said, I keep getting reminded of those moments where like, yo, she keeps making these decisions. Unfortunately, like I said to her the other day, a couple of days ago, that your father Like, I will not always be available.
Right.
Not always.
Not always, right.
So there are certain situations that you're going to have to figure out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you can't continually rely on someone else to help you out with your problem.
Right. It's not always going to come to you easily. You got sometimes you got to sit back. You got to do your homework on certain situations.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like I think about, you like in saying that, your daughter, she was blessed and she did a major purchase recently. Mm-hmm. Did she do her due diligence and her research?
Not really. You know how that goes. I mean, they'll give that input.
Right.
But guess who still got to take the lead?
Yeah.
Fathers.
Right.
So.
Right.
Like I said, she wanted to go, oh, we got to go to Jersey. I'm like, Jersey? Go to Jersey? I don't necessarily have to always go to Jersey to find a car. But the place she was talking about, I'm like, Kiki, I'm not going all the way up near no New York. No. Because, geographically, they don't know. Right. They don't know. Right. They think, you go over the bridge, bam, that is. No.
Right.
No.
It sounds simple.
It sounds simple. Looks simple on a piece of paper when we pull it up. Oh, okay.
But I guess here's the thing though. Super dad, right? Oh, boy. I'm saying it because the reality is that at what point in time could she sit there and say, well, my dad may not have driven to New York? I'm just using that because I'm thinking about myself, right?
Yeah, but I don't think these kids be thinking that, man.
Well, I think that again, I can speak for myself where like if at one point in time in my life, older now, don't do it as much. But if I woke up today and it's like, you know what? I feel like going to Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It'll be a wrap.
Right.
It'll be a wrap. If anything is longer than 10 minutes, I got to really think about that. For whatever reason. I don't know why. Like, I'm in that mindset.
Yeah, because, like, we went with look at that one car. We went at the, up in Bristol. She looking, well, we only an hour away from the other one, up in Jersey. I'm like, an hour away? I'm looking at, I'm like, Kiki, you see what time it is?
Right.
It's 4:00.
Right.
No, I'm not driving up there an hour up to drive an hour extra more the time back. It's an hour away from Bristol. We 45 minutes from Bristol. That's like 2 hours. And the time of day in traffic. Right. No.
Right. 4:00 is rush hour.
A bingo. And plus come on, man. The turnpike, nope.
And I guess the question would be, have you driven from New Jersey to Philly at 10 o'clock at night? Have you done it at 2 o'clock in the morning? Because I know I have.
Right, exactly. I know I have, yeah.
And the reality is, even though, was it 295 or whatever it is in Jersey, even though it might feel like it's flowing, but you got so many troopers out there.
Hiding in the cut.
And so you driving a new car to you with temp tags. Are you not a whatchamacallit, waiting to happen, a ticket waiting to happen?
Right.
Especially if you're going faster than the speed limit.
Exactly.
So, it's all those things you got to consider. I mean, because like I said, I've done that. I've done that coming from Freeport, New York, coming back home at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And that ride, one, is dark as I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, even though like everybody else is moving, but you get to see you see the troopers kind of chilling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after a while, you be like, it feel like I'm literally the only person out here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's how it was for me. It had to been a good almost hour in. So an hour, you're almost to Trenton, I guess, from there. And so by the time I got to Trenton, it was like, oh, wow, I still got a whole nother half an hour, 40 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, it's like, but there's nobody outside.
Man, that's how I felt when we went down, when she went back to college.
Yeah.
Man, and we left like 1-something in the morning. I mean, it was traffic. We Delaware, Maryland after that, but we get to Virginia, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's what happened to us when we had gone to a family reunion, years ago in Atlanta, and we left at like 12 o'clock in the morning. Yep.
Man, oh man.
No, I'm sorry. No, that particular time, the one I'm talking about there is 4. 'Cause we left at 4.
Okay.
And we got from here. That. Unfortunately, now mind y'all, this is years ago, y'all. Normally, in a normal time frame, you can get from here to Baltimore about an hour and a half.
Pretty much.
This particular day, I was almost in D.C. in an hour.
That can happen.
With no traffic?
Yep. Let me tell you something. That one time, that's a long time ago now, like you stated. I left out, made it from to Virginia within 2 hours.
Dude, because nobody's outside.
Nobody's outside.
Nobody's outside, and you moving like especially when you are not hitting, and especially in those areas that hold DC
right
traffic, because that's what holds you up is that DC traffic.
DC traffic. Yeah.
Baltimore could be a little crazy
at certain points. Yeah, to certain points.
Baltimore could be crazy. Well, I guess Elkton. Well, my issue had been Elkton because Elkton you hit that before you get to Baltimore. I think it's Elkton, Maryland, and then you hit Baltimore. I think Elkton is right on the edge.
It is. As soon as you after you pay the toll,
right?
Go over that bridge.
Right.
Go over the bridge. You get Elkton, yeah.
So there, I've had some bumps there, but then by the time you get to Baltimore, it could be a little bit more when you do the other bridge or the tunnel.
The harbor tunnel.
And then, but then, like you said, when you get closer to DC, like, oh wow, all this traffic.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was moving, this one trip I'm talking about. Excuse me. We skip all of the DC traffic. Like and I'm like, am I driving like really that fast, or is it just like literally nobody outside?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm getting at when you talk to your daughter, like does she see like, all right, well, Dad, you've been able to maneuver, drive, do this, that, and the other, but it's like, I know, like when I talk to mine, I'm like, but you don't understand all the other parts of that goes into that.
Exactly. That's I had to break it down to her. I'm like, all right, okay, it's an hour away from Bristol, yeah. We go up there and look at the car, and by the time we look at that and they come back down, we got to drive almost 2 hours, and, that traffic.
And mind you, I understand you can drive, but do I really want to not only just worry about, see, it's one thing for me to worry about you and I don't see you driving.
Mm-hmm.
For me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you are like, I've had to be around my daughter while she's driving, so I'm looking at not just traffic for her, but I'm looking at traffic for myself.
Right.
I'm like, Maurice, you can't drive 2 cars at once. No. But I'll be driving 2 cars at once. And then doing that, like you said, coming back down the turnpike. Now, mind you, that would have been, by the time, if you went up there at 4 o'clock, by the time y'all coming back down, might be 8, 9, 10-ish.
Yep.
Right? So that's still a lot of traffic.
Still a lot of traffic. Exactly. And I'm like, okay, go up there, look around, see a car. Okay. First, get up there. All right, you got to get up there, take an hour, get up there. You got to find a place. Okay.
Right.
They go up there, like you said, like 4, 5, 6, 7. It's time to get on the road, Jack.
Right.
And by the time we get home, 9 something at night.
And so by the time you got to go through, if y'all were to buy the car, first you got to look at the car, test the car, look at whatever it is before y'all even sit down at the table. Then y'all sit down at the table, then especially being out of state, how long does that process take?
Well, it don't take, when I found out, it don't take long because either we bought a car from Jersey from down here. Mm-hmm. We got to pay PA taxes.
Right.
So,
right.
But they give you, that's when, give you the temp tax and everything.
Right.
But that's the thing you got to worry about is the way I worry about. Then you got to worry about getting another license plate.
Right. Right.
Because they're going to have to get the temp tags. You
Right.
got to go to the door to go and get another, PA license plate. So it's extra work.
Right. It is. It is.
man.
And then just for timing that y'all had,
We was
that
cutting it
wouldn't
close.
work.
We had a lot of time.
Right.
So going to Jersey, about, okay, yeah, no, we got to go do all that because we had to do it within a 2 weeks amount of time. One week, boom. Friday, that's Friday. After New Year's Eve, that Friday, the following Friday after New Year's Eve. Go up there, went back up to the dealership, bam. Saturday, went to my brother. Sunday, we was out on Sunday morning, we was on the road.
Right.
It was cutting it close.
Right. Yep. You know,
When the time wasn't there. We ain't had the time. That's why I was hitting all the places that was close.
right.
You know.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, but nah, sister.
Right. But see, and so how many of y'all out there are dealing with something similar where y'all trying to navigate your kids through certain real life situations?
Mm-hmm.
Not even like little kid stuff. You know, it's one thing like, hey, I want chicken nuggets. Like that, that's
real
one thing.
adult situations.
And then with that, are you trying to be a parent or are you just trying to be an advisor? Because we're trying to advise sometimes.
Right.
They don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear that. Nah.
Then you got to turn to the parent. Like,
right. That's a lot of times. Like, all right, you know what? No problem. All right, you got to learn the hard way. There's no problem. That's it. I'll let it be. You're an adult.
Right.
So.
Right. So how many of y'all dealing with that?
Mm-hmm.
How many of y'all are anticipating that?
If
it's
not,
coming.
Y'all about to say, yeah, be prepared. Be prepared.
Because it's coming. And those of you who have been dealing with it a lot longer than we have, please share. Please share the wisdom. Right? How did you deal with it? What did were you eating a pint of ice cream every night just to get over it? Like what what have you done?
Damn, a pint of ice cream. Where the heck that come from?
Some people, man, sometimes they gotta eat their troubles away.
I stick to drinking my troubles away. That's the Lord for me.
But I thank y'all very much for listening today.
Stay up, be cool.
We talk to y'all.
Peace.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the Naybors podcast. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and felt right at home. If you like what you heard, don't be a stranger. Subscribe, leave us a review, and share this with your friends and fam. Got something on your mind or a topic you'd love to hear us talk about? Hit us up. Until next time, remember, we're all just neighbors working together for a better community. Stay safe, stay connected, and we'll catch you in the next one.